So I thought let's try something different for today and add on to my character requests and character ideas for this game. And if you don't know about this series, I let people select the characters that they want to see, and I've done Disney characters, anime characters, if possible, for this game to get in for potential DLC and new DLC. And even if it's new DLC, is still a brand new character that can be added into the game, and that's why it's a new character. That's why it's new DLC, and that's what we're talking about. And with this particular character, I decided to do my own unique idea, and this is not really a request. I decided to come up with my own ideas with this particular character for Kreskin, and the Amazing Kreskin. And if you guys seen this show before, I haven't seen this show before, but I wanted to be daring and try to do something a little bit different. That's someone that's not a Nickelodeon character, someone that hasn't really been on an anime show or a cartoon at that. And I wanted to try my hand at something out of the ordinary for a different character for this video today. And before I get into him and get into this character and share my ideas, everything will be listed in the description. If you don't want to watch the full video, you don't have to, and you can watch as much as you want to. And maybe you're not interested in this character, maybe you want to see some other characters as well, but there's plenty of other requests out there that I have to get to anyway, and many other characters that people want to see me talk about for this game for potential DLC, and how the character will be able to fight, what they're going to be capable of with their abilities, and more. But before I get into the Amazing Kreskin and just talk a little bit about him and share my ideas of what I came up with for him, this magical magician, and the moveset potential for him is just amazingly huge of what he can do to be able to shine in Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. But before we start, I just want to talk about the crossplay. I think now that just a little bit from the update that I covered last night, and if you guys saw it, it was a hotfix for this game, and it was completely unannounced. It's a shadow drop. It was a shadow drop that I didn't expect. I thought it was going to contain something different, and maybe some other additional things that I was hoping to see for the this particular update. But I got to try out the online last night. It was so much more smoother, of a much more smooth experience, I'll say, and no minimum lag. I didn't really lag at all, and that's just one of the things that I wanted to see. And I want to go as far as saying I think crossplay is a lot closer than what we think, now that we have this rollback update and the net code adjustment. So the lag is fixed, and regardless of who I went against, from some of the great players I ran into last night, I was able to move how I wanted to, and even the other players, just no matter what region I went on, it was just a smooth connection. Even though I was playing outside of my region, it was definitely a much better experience online. Definitely recommend getting online. And if you haven't been on for a while, and you are lagging and just stuttering, freezing and stuff like that, maybe disconnecting out of nowhere, it's a much better experience, and I recommend getting online now to try it out. It's what I was looking for the online experience. And now I can say that the game is now crossplay ready, and ready to get that crossplay update at some point whenever they're ready to really get a chance to bring it out. So I wanted to bring that to the table before I get into this character. I think crossplay is coming a lot sooner. Maybe that's going to be the next move. It could come out with Rocco, and just for that character, I think he's going to come out early October. Just a little guess. But it seems more fitting, especially what they've been working on with bug fixes and more. So maybe we'll get the character a lot more sooner than what we think, and a lot more than what we bargained for. At least for a little my predictions for the game itself. But it wasn't announced. It wasn't shared on their public pages. It's not part of the news when you come on here for the news tab or anything like that. It's whatever you play this game on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, PC. Everybody got an update. It's a universal hotfix update, and also with Aang being a dominant force that he is, he got fixed. So no one can really instantly knock you out with his airbending ball or his air ball and be able to take you out in a matter of seconds within a blink of an eye. So I'm glad that's also fixed too. But now let's start talking about Kreskin, the magician, the mentalist, and I want to go into the training, or maybe I'll just go here. So let's see. So I wanted to just have everything on the screen just as usual so everybody could see the characters in the game. And just with this particular character will be an absolute unique add-on or unique DLC to be added into the game. And this particular character, Amazing Kreskin, I'm completely new to him. I'm new to this character in the show. I haven't seen the show, and it's an old show from the 1970s. The Amazing Kreskin, if has anyone out there seen it, and maybe some others can be able to elaborate and share more in the comments if you guys grew up watching the show and this particular television show, if you've seen it at some point or maybe checked it out recently. This popular television show aired in the 1970s. It's called The Amazing World of Kreskin, or for his TV show. And this particular magician or mentalist is basically a stage magician, a stage performer. And from what I just did some digging and researching, he was always known and presented himself as an entertainer, never as a sidekick. And this amazing TV series called The Amazing World of Kreskin is how he got his popularity and how he grew, and people started getting into his show. There's not even just a TV series, but there's several books out there and even a board game that you can play to try to see if you have your own psychic abilities. See what I'm saying? So it's so much just things out there about this particular TV show and this particular magician of Kreskin. If you guys have played the game before, and just again, if you read maybe one of the books or maybe heard of him before, you can elaborate in the comments if you like and share your thoughts about this particular character. But this particular show, The Amazing World of Kreskin, was about, just in a nutshell, just a little quick backstory. He would choose random people from the audience, and you see how you watch from these stage shows and these magicians when they perform these tricks, they will always get volunteers from the audience to be a part of the stage act, to be a part of the magic trick in the stage performance. So he would choose random people from the audience and guess details about them that he could not have possibly known, honestly known, unless he used his extrasensory perception. So with that particular ability, with his extrasensory abilities, I used that to come up with a moveset of my own for this particular character idea and maybe his character potential, what he can do. There's so many moves that he could probably do, being a sidekick and having all these different abilities. I put that all into his moveset, and that's basically what the show was about. And a mind reader with psychic abilities, a magician at that, and a stage act. See, so this is what he's about. That's what the character is, and that's what the show was all about in a nutshell. Just really quick, just for a little bit of a backstory. But I think he has a good chance, and he will really be a unique character in this game. Even though he's not Nickelodeon, even though he's not Disney or from a cartoon show, that'll be a unique character that they can add into this roster. And being a psychic or a magician, it's not about Lucy Lau. She's probably not going to be able to live up to the powers of this particular magician anyway. She only has a select few moves here and there. But there's other characters like Kreskin that could be able to shine and be the first ever magician to be in here and be able to make this roster even more unique. That's not too much, even though it's not it's a Nickelodeon character. It's not a Nickelodeon character, still a great character to be able to add into the roster. So that's just a little bit of backstory I just wanted to really get into. I had to do some digging and research, so I just made it short and sweet for a little bit of background from this particular character, from the Amazing Kreskin from the 1970s of this show. And you can check it out yourself if you want. But it's even some videos out there I end up watching just to really check out and see what the show is about in that particular stage. And from the show itself is how I came up with a major stage that could come out with him for a DLC. And for the name of the stage, they could just put The Amazing World of Kreskin. And I think this could be a big stage from his show from the 1970s that actually you get to actually see in these old videos to really be on display. And it could be a small stage. It doesn't have to be a giant stage. The stage doesn't even look that big. So it could be a small stage, and it also could fall under the competitive playlist. The competitive players out there that play this, it could be in that playlist for a small stage to be able to fight at the Amazing World of Kreskin on his TV show stage, you know, and just battle it out there. So that's the only stage that I end up selecting for something that's more ideal for his DLC. And then some costumes. Something I just found out is that most magicians wear suits. They wear tuxedos. So I thought maybe that could be something that can really change. And see how some of these characters only have hats. Some of them have different skin variations and colors. But Reptar, just again for an example, that's a color variation. It changes color in full. His eyes look the same, but just everything else is completely different now. It looks a little bit red, I think, with his eyes. A pinkish reddish sort of color. But this is the kind of skin I think that he could wear. Something like this, but with his suits changing. Let's change the color of his suit. Suit color variations with maybe like a black suit with a top hat, giving white gloves and a red bow tie. Maybe they can play around with the design of his suit, the top hat, if they give him one. White gloves, and his gloves could change colors with his bow tie. His glasses can also get changed. You see how Lucy Loud, for example, she got shades on. You could change the color of the glasses that he wears along with his suit. When you change them for different skins and different alternate costumes, he can have a good variety of alternate costumes with custom colors where the player could be able to pick. Maybe that could be something that could be unique, a part of his DLC. You get the Amazing Kreskin, you could change the color of his suit and select between a variety of colors of his individual suit, the bow tie, the glasses, and his gloves. So that'll be a nice unique color custom, his own exclusive color customization of his alternate costume color customization options exclusively for Kreskin. See what I'm saying? I think that'll be very unique to make him even more worth the bang for the buck. Not just because he's a new character, you're going to have that exclusive ability to customize the colors of his suit, his tie, his glasses, and so much more, in his gloves, if any, or maybe his tuxedo. You could switch between the suit and the tuxedo. You could switch the colors up in the glasses, and you know, just variations like that for some different alternate costume options for Kreskin exclusively in the DLC pack. So that's what I came up with for his costume, and then we already covered the stage, so we're going to be battling on his show, on the stage, on the big stage. Now, some taunts and animations kind of had some issues with this, but I was trying to come up with some little unique ideas, something quick and easy, something that's safe, and not something that's too long. And it's like, it's even characters that have glasses that probably, it's a different game though. But she has the shades, but you know, there's no animations where you can adjust the glasses. So I came up with that. His glasses adjustment, a magician pose with his hands that he can do. And then if they give him like a top hat, he can tip his hat. That'll be a nice little, cool little taunt that you can do. And then with his psychic abilities, he can be tapping his head for his psychic mind reading abilities. You know what I'm saying? So that could be something that he could do when he wins a match. That could be like a winning animation. So I thought that would be more realistic with his psychic powers, his extrasensory psychic abilities and stuff like that. I thought it would be unique for a winning animation for him, and instead of a taunt, maybe it can be a taunt as well. They can go hand in hand, but I think that would be a better winning animation for him. And then just glasses adjustments when he's on the field and he wins. That'll be perfect. But now I'm gonna go to the moveset. I really had a lot of fun putting this together, and I'm curious to see what you guys think about my ideas for his offensive capabilities. I think he can have a huge moveset, being a psychic and using his sixth senses to be able to unleash havoc on the opponent. So just to start, I came up with extrasensory. It makes the most sense. Of course, he's got to have some kind of sidekick ability with this kind of move and these kind of powers. So Kreskin can unleash his inner psychic ability on the enemy with a ranged psychic blast that can travel horizontally across the screen, and you will also be able to charge this ability, his extrasensory ability, and then when you fully charge it, the attack will be even stronger, so you'll be able to double its power. So just imagine that just on the field for this game, for Kreskin using his psychic abilities and just being able to unleash it on all these different characters. He's going to be super powerful. It'll be so much fun playing with him, and very unique. He'll have the most unique moveset with all these different abilities. I put hypnosis in his moveset, so Kreskin can actually temporarily hypnotize the enemy and they can leave him stunned. And I'm just saying, it made me think of Bugs Bunny, how you get the charmed effect when you're stunned. You get charmed effect, but you can be hypnotized by Kreskin. I was just thinking about different characters. There's not really much of a character in this game right now that can really stun you. So I thought, I'm just looking at the characters right now and just trying to go through the movesets, but I don't think there's any characters in this game that can really stun you. So I thought Kreskin could be one of the first with his hypnosis ability to be able to stun you. So while you're under hypnosis, you cannot move, you're completely stunned, and you're just vulnerable. So he can be able to, he can charge up a full, it can actually come out, it can combo with his extrasensory ability, and you can fully charge up to be able to blast them off the stage with his psychic ability while they're hypnotized. So it'll give you enough time to really try to charge up, and then you can be able to unleash it when you're ready. So even if you don't have enough time to unleash his extrasensory blast that's fully charged, you can have it at the ready, almost like since with Ren and Stimpy's his gas move. I thought this was an original counter, but it's just it's a move that you can be able to absorb the techniques with. He can have something similar to this where you can be able to unleash the ability when you're ready, because it's going to already be fully charged with his extrasensory, fully charged extrasensory psychic abilities. So it can go well with his hypnosis. I even gave him telekinesis, so he can use his telekinetic power to throw nearby enemies with force. A unique throw. See how all these characters throw the same? They have the same throw. Yeah, Jenny has a little bit of a more range one where she could pull you in, but let's give Kreskin a unique telekinetic sort of throw so he could be able to toss enemies with ease. So he doesn't even have to be near you. You might want to watch out for his telekinesis. So this will be perfect for him. So I would definitely put that in his moveset. So he'll not only have his own custom variations and custom alternate colors for his alternate costumes that they can pick and choose from with variety. He can have his own unique grab that's going to just outshine all the other characters in the game. So since they all have that same sort of grabbing animation, he's going to have something a little bit more different with his telekinesis. So I thought this would be very unique, and it's as if he has the force. You know, with the Star Wars, it made me think of that too. But telekinesis would be perfect for him with his psychic abilities. Telekinesis would be perfect. Calm Spirit. This special ability allows him to channel his thoughts and give himself a defensive buff where he'll be able to take more hits from the enemy and endure those extra hits. So I thought this would be something, just some kind of defensive ability. Maybe I thought about changing it, maybe both a defensive and offensive buff where he can take more but also deal more damage just for a limited amount of time. But I think Calm Spirit would be a more fitting special ability for Kreskin where he can withstand more incoming attacks. So that's what I came up with as far as another additional special ability. And Kreskin can predict the future. See how he did these different stage performances and will call upon different volunteers for the audience to try to predict and share information about them. I'm using his predictions and that particular ability to see the future, where he can predict a magical future projectile blast that can target any player. So maybe if he's going against more than one player, maybe he's battling the SpongeBob players, is Kreskin versus SpongeBob, Patrick, and Sandy, for example. He can use his predictions ability and it'll randomly target SpongeBob, Patrick, or Sandy. so they can really implement it. I don't know if that sounds too complicated, but I think it'll be a very unique attack that can also be added into his moveset, at least from my ideas, where it can target any, if he's going against more than one opponent, no one is safe. So it's not just playing favorites and targeting that one particular person. Of course, it's only going to target one character if it's a one-on-one match. But if it's more than one person, everybody, no one is safe from this particular attack when he's predicting. So it can target anybody that's on the field at random. And if it's just you might want to keep your eyes open, not even just what's going on in front of you. You want to be able to look around and make sure it's not a little incoming projectile attack. It'll be awesome to see that. And that's why I used it just one of his stage acts to reference his show, to reference what he's capable of in part of his real life performances and being a sidekick in the stage act. See what I'm saying? So I thought the predictions would be a much more iconic sort of move to go along with his moveset for Kreskin. A recovery move, I had to add in levitation, where Kreskin can perform his final stage act by using his hidden ability to levitate in the air to continue his performance. In the performance, or what they say, the show must go on, he can come right back in to continue the show and his stage performance by destroying you. So I thought this would be a nice little recovery move for him, for his abilities. And they do these kind of things, these different sort of tricks. I even seen it in different movies where they'll play around and try to do levitation tricks and stuff like that in these scary movies. So I thought maybe he can have this hidden ability to levitate himself, to save himself, to recover and get back into the fight. But that's all I could really come up with as far as his moveset. I really had a lot of fun with his moves the most, and just doing the extra research of the character. I really think he deserves to be in the game. He'll be a lot of fun to play with. He himself wants to be in the game, so that's what also made me want to make this particular video and try to come out with something different, to try to add on to make the series even more unique, where it's not a Nickelodeon character all the time, a character like him with an actual real life magician who still appears and does this sort of thing and shares his predictions of what he thinks is going to happen for the next upcoming new year. So just some extra research that I done and found out. I'm curious to see what you guys think and about this character, and I hope we get crossplay soon. I really had a lot of fun putting this character together for today as a nice something, a little surprise, something different to bring to the table for this series. I hope he gets in. I think he'll add more to the roster, and just his abilities. I think he has a lot of different other psychic abilities that he can use, different techniques and more, and different sort of magic that he can probably perform. And I think he has a huge moveset pool of potential that he can utilize to be able to inflict some serious damage against some of these characters. And I would definitely play as him, and I think the DLC will be a lot more fun and it'll be unique. Put him in a universe pack, maybe as even an individual release. I'm cool with either one. I think he'll be a really nice character to be able to get in. And I think he has some serious moves. I think he has a lot of different capabilities and powers and techniques that can really make him dangerous. It can go beyond as far as my ideas. But I think some of the ideas that I shared from his moves with hypnosis, that'll be really awesome to see, to be able to see all the different techniques that he can do. But let me know what you guys think of this character.